guys, this is William with Shadowtronics coming to you today. We are working on a cool little project here. Getting into ham radio, thanks to a good friend of mine, Josh. Check him out on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description below. His YouTube name is Hoshnasi, Hoshnasi. He does anything and everything related to ham radio. Anyway, we have the Baofeng UV-5R, one of the most popular entry ham radios there are. Sorry for the lighting this morning, guys. You can program these things. I got that turned down. You can program these things from here on the front panel. It's kind of a pain in the butt to do, but you can do it. Or you can buy a programming cable. The programming cable connects into the headset jack on these radios. Well, as all things from China, there are legit cables and there are counterfeit cables. Okay, the counterfeit cable, in all intents and purposes, should work. But the chipset, the little computer chip in that cable is not widely supported in the counterfeit one. It comes with what they call the prolific chip. I forgot what the actual part number is. But it doesn't work well with Windows 10 or Mac. I think it works kind of okay in Linux. So the big name, the name brand cable, the good cable, is from Amazon's about $20, and the cheap ones are about anywhere from $2 to $5. Okay, well, you know, if you're on my channel, you know I'm very frugal when it comes to buying things because I'm on a fixed income, and so I ordered one of the cheap cables. Well, it was supposed to arrive yesterday on the 19th. Said it was left in my mailbox. Went and got the mail, and sure enough, it wasn't there. And so I don't know if it got stolen out of my mailbox or got lost or what. I don't know. So I get to, I'm down and out. Spent $5. Basically just threw $5 away. Well, I get online and find, which I'll have the links below for all this, I find a how-to guide on how to make one of these cables, and it tells which chipsets you can and can't use. The FTDI RS232 is the preferred chip, but they're a little costly. You can buy them. eBay sells tons of them. But you can also get an aftermarket chip called the CP2102. And it is a direct replacement for the FTDI. Well, I just happen to have a bunch of these from working with Arduinos. And I thought, let me give this a try. So, came with a headset. It came with this little dinky over-the-ear headset thing. I'll put it in the shot here. Well, I don't plan on ever really using this type of headset. So I thought, well, I'll cut the end off of it and wire it up. There's the 3.5 millimeter and the 2.5 millimeter. Yes, they're two different sizes. Like I said, if you have one of these radios and it came with a headset, you're not going to use it, chop, chop, chop. Or if you bought one of the counterfeit cables that don't work, just like I said, steal the plugs out of it. I have not found a direct replacement for the shell for these. It is called the Kenwood K1 connector. If anyone can find that, please send me a message, Twitter message at username's at Sonic2WB, Facebook, my website shadowtronics.org. Please let me know where I can find these, because I have searched all morning for them and cannot find them. So you need a Oh, that'll be something I'll mention. You do need to make sure that the 3.5 millimeter jack and the 2.5 millimeter jack are stereo. May not be necessary for the 2.5, but that's what I had on hand. I said I'll have links to everything. I'll have eBay links to all the parts. For the wire, I'm using some just DuPont wire. Let's see. The heat shrink tape. You can buy that from Harbor Freight, eBay. I actually got a big package of it, different sizes, from China for like $2, and it works pretty good. Soldering iron, solder, of course. Let's see. Heat shrink tape. The chipset, the CP2102. They come in some different packaging, but this is the one I use, the one I know it works, and I recommend it to everybody. Again, I'll have eBay links. They're cheap. They're less than $1 a piece, shipped from China. Focus. There we go. You see the black chip there in the center. It's got 6 pins, 6 connection points. You only need 3. You need TX, RX, and ground. Has a mini USB connector, cell phone connector on the board. Got to be kind of careful with it. If you're not careful, you can jerk it off the board. And it is surface mount, so yeah, good luck putting it back if you do. But like I said, they're cheap. They're less than $1 a piece. I do have a seller I'm working with. I'll link below that. If you order more than 4 or 5 of them, he'll actually even mark them down even less. I think the last 20 I bought, I paid about 80 cents a piece for them. So, your mileage may vary with that, depending on the seller and how many you're going to buy. But that's about it. So let's jump into this. That's what I'm going to do. I don't have a pause button on this. So I'll edit it out. I will probably take this section out. I'm going to solder this up and come back to you guys. Actually, I'll probably just, I can do that. I'll come back after I get that soldered up. Okay, guys, I'm back. Just wanted to show you a little quick update on a little thing I changed here. All right. Since I only need 3 pins on this, I need the RX, TX, and ground. I went and clipped the leads to the rest of the pins so that I don't have to worry about them shorting out on anything. If you didn't want to clip them, you could always, on light here. You could always just put heat shrink over them or a piece of tape or something. But since this is going to be a dedicated cable for my radio, I just went and just snipped them off. And as you can see here, I've already soldered one of the leads on for the ground. Nice and tight. Nice clean solder joint. And then next thing I'm going to do, there we go, you can see it, is I'm just going to slide a piece of heat shrink tape down over that and shrink it down to keep them contacting each other. Okay guys, I'm back here to show you what I've got done here. Keep getting this solder now cord in the way here. There we go. As you can see, I got my 3 cables. And I've heat shrinked each one individually. Guys, I totally apologize for the lighting in here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a larger piece of heat shrink over those 3 just to stiffen them up a little bit, and then we'll work on the other end. Okay guys, I'm back here now, ready to put the headset jacks, solder those onto the wires. Remember is that the 3.5 millimeter, the only wire that goes to it is the transmit, and to hook it to the jack, wherever it just went, it actually hooks to the ground connection on the headset jack. But the ground connection is just there at the base, and that first section right here. You got the tip, the ring, and the base. And the TX wire from the chipset goes onto the base. And that's all it goes to this. I'm gonna solder a piece of I'm gonna solder the wire and solder another piece of heat shrink tube, and I'll show you that when I get done. Alright, back in a moment. Alright, just a quick little shot of what I got done here before I put the heat shrink on. Sorry for my crappy camera work here. See, I'm attached to the base leg of that. And I got the wire straight in parallel, and all I'm gonna do now is slide this to here. With one hand. I'm gonna slide that heat shrink up to protect it, and give me something to pull on since I don't actually have a plug. All right, guys, I got it done here. Got it all heat shrinked up. Make some nice connections. I got that soldering iron in the way again. The focus control. There we go. Alright, so it is connected up here. From the lighter off of that one. And then there's the whole thing. Wired up, ready to go. Oh, he shrinked up, made it look real nice. A lot better than my first revision of that. So to connect it into the radio, you just pop the sides open here. In my light again. And just plugs into the connectors. Make sure it connects in firmly. Like that. And then the other plugs into your PC via the mini USB cell phone cord. So now I will switch over to the desktop and show you guys it working in Chirp. Now I'm going to plug in the USB lead. Make sure your radio is off. Plug in the USB lead. And like I said, I use these almost on a daily basis. But if you're just first time plugging into Windows, you hear the dun-dun-dun sound, and it'll install the driver. Show you guys what that looks like. I will open the device manager. Windows Administrative, Computer Management, Device Manager. And if everything goes correctly, under ports, COM and LPT, should have this Silicon Labs CP210X USB to UART bridge and the COM number. Remember that number. Mine's 7. So that's COM 7. That means I do have a USB to serial port. So we can close that. Go here into Chirp. Everybody should know Chirp. Gonna click on radio. Download from radio. And you'll get a bunch of warnings about, may or may not work, blah, 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 may corrupt. You can just okay all those till you get to this screen here. And you're going to see the port, and mine's already been selected, COM 7. Vendor is Baofeng, however you say it. And my model number is the UV-5R. As you can see, they support a lot of different models and a lot of different manufacturers. Alright, so with COM 7, Baofeng UV-5R. Now, here comes the important part. To turn your radio on and turn the volume all the way up. And then what I do is you pick a frequency that there's no one talking on. I'm going to put mine in UHF. Well, frequency mode first. And then put it on a frequency no one's talking on. Right now, 145, 825 is quiet. That's the APRS frequency for the International Space Station, and it's already past us, so I know that frequency is quiet. Make sure your volume's all the way up, hit OK, and you should see that it should start cloning the radio. And we're done. And the transmit light on your radio will flash red. Alright, you can see I was able to pull down the channel list. I need to save set your list up. You can do different settings for the radio, etc. Go check out my buddy Hoshnasi. He has a great video on programming these things and using Chirp. I'll put a link in the description below, but it's real easy. It's YouTube/Hoshnasi. It's HOSHNASI. Well, you know what? Since we're doing the screen, I can actually bring his videos up. Ooh. For some reason, Cortana tried to talk there. Anyway, here's his YouTube channel. He runs the ham radio crash course. Check him out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, I believe that is, or Snapchat, one of the two. He has a little bit of everything, but he has some really good videos, and does a live stream every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. If you're not licensed, he has a great Get Your Technician Amateur License video series. I am actually on video number 3. Actually, video 4 is where I'm at. But check him out. Really cool guy. Drinks a lot of different craft beers. If you're into that, he's a firm believer in the Second Amendment, which he gets my vote just for that. And he's a really nice guy. He has a Discord server. If you'd like, I'll put a link to that in the description. If you got our list of information here, settings, we got our list of channels and frequencies and tones. And as you can see, most of mine are turned. The duplex, meaning transmit and receive, is turned off. Just because I do not have my license, and I'm pretty smart. I'm not going to go around broadcasting out all over the place, and so but I have dogs. Things are constantly getting knocked off the shelf, stuff like that, and I don't want to accidentally bump and transmit on an emergency frequency where if it was an accident, they probably would understand. But if it was during an emergency or something, I don't want to be the person who ties up their communications. You know what I'm saying? So just to play it safe, I have them all turned off. I'm actually going to go here and turn off the rest of these. You can turn them off individually, like I have here, or in the settings, you can actually do like a band-wide disable for VHF and UHF. But for now, since I've already done this on most of them, we will just go here and turn the rest of them off. And then I'm going to save this file because I had made some changes. From my last save, I made changes in the radio. And so this file, what's on the radio, doesn't match my save file, which I'm going to fix that right now. To do that, you just go to File, Save. It's going to pop up. I have a file called radio. 10/20/18, which is today's date. I was doing this at 2 o'clock in the morning this morning, so that's why it has today's date. And so we're going to overwrite that. Okay, and to put this file back on the radio, it's simple as just clicking radio, upload to radio. Same thing, you're going to get the COM port. And you notice I cannot change the radio. That's because when we pulled down from the radio, the program knew that, hey, I'm talking to a Baofeng UV5R, so this file matches that radio. And so it's a little safety thing to keep you from uploading the wrong file to the wrong device, which can cause problems, I have heard. So we hit OK. Now the receive light is flashing green on my radio as it's receiving the file. And done. And we're good to go. The radio reboots automatically once it finishes. And we are good to go. But that's it, folks. I hope you liked it. Visit my website over at shadowtronics.org. If you like what I do, these little how-to videos and stuff, make sure you hit subscribe and hit that bell to get notified when I put videos up. I try to do videos at least once a week. I also have a live stream that is kind of sporadic right now, but normally it's 5 days a week from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern over at mixer.com/Shadow Towing. Well, like I said, this is William with Shadowtronics. Hopefully we'll have my call sign soon. I'm going to go study for my technician's test today. Stay safe, stay legal, and get your license. Get on ham radio. There's so much cool stuff you can do. You can talk to satellites. You can talk to the International Space Station. You can send pictures of yourself to people, random people. Check out my, like I said, check out my good buddy Hoshnasi over there on YouTube. Where's he at again? There he is. Come by our Discord. Come hang out and chat with us on the ham radio. And 73s, everybody. And we'll talk to you later on.